When I first met Justin Townes Earle, it was a safe bet that he was going to take over the world. Justin was in his late 20s with a pair of critically acclaimed albums to his name. He was tall and handsome. He took the stage in a tailor-made Billy Reed suit to adoring fans wherever he went. And he wasn't doing it with some cynically curated group of songs that he thought could be playlisted. He was doing it with a style of roots music that was, in some ways, deeply conservative, unapologetically traditional, and uniquely American. It borrowed from Mance Lipscomb, Lightning Hopkins, Guy Clark, and of course his namesake, Townes Van Zandt. Now, I had been reliably informed that you couldn't succeed playing music that way. Justin was proving the conventional wisdom wrong in real time, and it was a beautiful thing. In 2010, Justin heard my debut album and invited me to open up a full U.S. tour. He was just falling off the wagon at the start of that tour, so the whole affair was both messy and triumphant. We played to electric crowds. We both strained every relationship that we had. We both smashed guitars in drunken rages at different points in the tour. He took me on my first tour of Australia afterwards, where the two of us and Josh Headley finished a bottle of whiskey on Bon Scott's grave after a gig outside of Perth. Frankly, it's what I had always imagined being a touring musician to be like. And when it was all said and done, he was my friend. After we finished those tours together, he released Harlem River Blues. That album would be a high watermark for him, because 2 days after its release, in a harbinger of the decade that was to come, he was arrested in Indianapolis for battery and public intoxication in a payment dispute at a nightclub. There would be a few more artistic bright spots for him, but they were interspersed with trips to rehab, fleeting sobriety, and profound personal turmoil. If you've ever been close to somebody who struggled with addiction, and I have been to a few, the process is mind-numbingly predictable. The lies, the false starts, the unexplained disappearances, the changing phone numbers, the delusions of grandeur, the photographic memory for perceived slights that happened years ago. Going through that process with someone, I almost never get past the anger stage, and with Justin, it was no different. I was angry at him for many years. I couldn't help but look at his immense talent and see it as largely squandered. I couldn't help but look at the people closest to him and see them as mistreated. I couldn't help but look at his brilliance and see it as unaccountable to anybody except for himself. Are those harsh words? Perhaps they are. I don't speak lightly about people I love. This week, though, while grieving his death, I read the final interview that he did with Rolling Stone, and I paused when I came to this quote. He said, "Nothing will ever change the heart that's inside of me. And you know, it goes way deeper than my father. I was a kid. I was abandoned. I was molested. I was beaten. You know, so everybody's lucky I'm not a serial killer." I didn't know that about Justin. Sometimes I wonder how much I knew about him at all. Perhaps my anger says less about him than it does about my own inability to forgive a brother whose path was tougher than my own. Justin Townes Earle leaves behind a body of work that people will sing for generations to come. He leaves behind an iconic guitar playing style that people will try, poorly, to rip off. He leaves behind peers that held his artistry in the highest regard. He leaves behind a loving family, including his father, my friend and mentor, Steve Earle, and most importantly, he leaves behind a wife and young daughter. Farewell, my friend. You're gone too soon. May your soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace.